to you from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan. Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulations.
Thank you for your support of the Detroit Cast.
Oh, there it is.
And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
Fuck them is right. Oh, that's a strong salt, sir. Hello,
right?
everybody. Yeah, no, not far from. Very far from all right. Welcome to the Detroit Cast, powered by DealsWeDo.com. Mike and Jay. Shalom, Big E. Hello, Jay.
Hi, Mike.
How are you, my friend?
I'm pleased to be with you.
Are you?
Yeah.
Not so pleased to be with you.
Yeah, you're not feeling good, are you?
No, you got my goat this weekend, and I've got a migraine, which,
I'm sorry to hear that.
yeah, never happened with 12 to 15, 80 milligram oxys a day. Never. Not once. Just didn't happen.
That felt good, didn't it?
Sure did.
Whole body just
I didn't
fuzzy
even know
all
what a
over.
migraine was.
Yeah.
Yeah, for like, I
Is
don't
it
know,
really a migraine or is it just a headache?
12 to 15. I don't know. How do you
What is the
judge?
difference? I honestly don't know.
The
what
migraines I
One
get,
hurts more than the other.
I lose vision. Like vision starts blinking, and I see
Really?
it.
You know what you should do?
Sides of my
12
eyes
to 15, 80 milligram oxys a day will cure all that.
for 12 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, we love you too much. You gotta stop doing that. You're hurting yourself. You're gonna die. It's too expensive.
We're all gonna die.
Yeah, but I don't have fucking migraines. I don't have fucking migraines.
You'll be all right.
Yeah. You don't happen to have 12 to 15, 80 milligram oxys on you, do
I
you?
don't. I'm sorry, man.
Shit. I like that sweatshirt, by the way.
Yeah, it's TDC related.
That's very cool.
TDC, the Detroit Cast. Yeah, all embroidered. It's
Oh,
nice.
shit, I didn't even get that.
And in the back.
Oh, look at that. It even has our names on it. Very cool.
Embroidery's sweet, isn't
Very,
it?
very cool. Welcome to the show, everybody. How was your weekend? You guys have good weekends?
Yeah, absolutely.
Started early with us Thursday.
Started early with us. We went down to the corner.
Dude, Thursday was the longest day in the history of days.
Why?
It was like a 48-hour day for me.
Oh.
Yeah. Which, it was fine. It was good. Probably better for me to do that than anything else. But, yeah, going down to the corner.
Yeah, the Willie Horton Field of Dreams.
Ah, yes. What a cool spot that
It
is,
is,
man.
man. To think
Dude.
of all the history, all the baseball that's been played at that corner,
Yeah.
Michigan and Trumbull.
Oh, yeah. And I don't know. Do people know what's going on there?
I don't know if they do.
Like-
I think most people probably think, oh, yeah, are they kids just still playing, like, out on that field? Because there was a time where a bunch
Yeah.
of guys were just getting together and mowing it and playing
Yeah, I was
going to
say that the lawn was like 8
Yeah.
feet tall, and then people were just like, "No way, this is Michigan and Trumbull. This
Yeah,
is the spot."
Played it like, they called it like Naven Field ground crew or something, just a bunch of
Yeah.
guys who mowed it and played.
And then neighborhood kids could play ball there. And the cool thing was, they left the original flagpole there in center field, and we all remember when they ripped home plate out and had the parade going
Yeah.
down to Comerica.
Jeff Weaver escorted it down there.
Yeah, maybe
Sure.
Bobby Higgins, whoever it was, a few guys. But now, what is it, PAL? The charity PAL.
Detroit PAL moves
Yeah.
in. Big corporate America moves in and moves
Hell
those
yeah.
kids out of there. No, PAL, it's great for youth in Detroit, right? I mean, they do a lot of sports, baseball included, football, basketball, soccer, all that stuff. And they've built in a pretty nice thing there in terms
venue,
of
man. They raised a lot of money to do it. It's taken many years, and so we got a tour of it as their what is their grand opening? They're not going to make their grand opening, are they?
Yeah, they say,
Dude,
say March 23rd or 24th.
we had to wear hard hats.
There's a lot of mud around there, a lot of hard hat issues.
Yep, we were walking around going, we're going to need to get a faceplate on that exposed outlet right there. We're going to want to move these wires. We were kind of acting like foremen, like
I think
big
we went
shots.
down a dark stairway or two that we suggested they light. I think
Yeah,
they
that was
took
a
our-
great. Whoever had
took
that
our
suggestion,
recommendation.
Jay, that was great because you were right. Having a pitch black stairwell is just not ideal.
Not the way to go.
Yeah, so hopefully they took our advice. But man, is that cool! It's like a mini little stadium, and the coolest thing is they kept the exact
Dimensions. That's it right there.
Oh.
They kept the Tiger Stadium field dimensions.
Well, we've all seen like little league parks and stuff, and they're just kind of miniature. And I'm standing there, I'm looking at this thing, I'm like, God damn, that park
are-
looks really big.
How are these kids
Boy,
going
oh boy. And they're like, oh yeah, we kept the original dimensions. I'm like, so 12-year-old's never going to hit it out of the infield because that is a huge field.
Yeah, it is.
But it's
440 straight out, you know,
Yeah.
325 and right, 340 and left.
oh, I want to go out there and just yick one.
Did you?
No, I want to.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Well,
but
you were out there.
I know. I forgot my balls and bats. I had to go out there with a piece of PVC pipe and pretend I was swinging a bat.
Yeah. People are going to be pissed, though, because it's turf.
Yeah, but
you
it's,
got to
it's
do
expensive.
that.
I know. It's expensive, though, to upkeep grass.
Yeah, there's no way.
Yeah. But what people
They're going to
really
be playing
like,
football
too,
out there, too, you know?
and soccer and all kinds of stuff. But what's really cool is the surrounding area. You'll remember it from when you were a kid. The lumber yard
Sure.
here that was around Tiger Stadium, and it's just really neat.
It's kind of neat to stand there without the walls and go, this is kind of where I sat. You know?
Yeah.
It's
You could picture the
trip.
bleachers and the bleacher creatures and all the stuff that was going on there. So exciting times, man, especially with Detroit on the rise. Seeing that area, it's very, very cool.
And they have residential and retail planned to go around it, too. So
Mm-hmm.
Corktown is certainly on its way back.
What are they going to make it like Toronto, like the Sky Dome, where you can have it like overlooking the stadium, and then we can have people banging in their
For
rooms?
sure.
Dude.
During Little League.
I mean, isn't that the greatest part of Toronto's Sky? What was it, the Sky Dome?
Yes.
Yeah, where people would just start banging in the window, and then the crowd would go nuts.
I think it's a little
Imagine
passe
that.
now.
Well, just imagine picture this. You've got two teams of 8 to 10-year-olds on the field, and they're playing their hearts out. There's a full stadium, concessions are rocking, and then you see some girl's tits pressed up against that glass, and some guy just behind her just pow, pow. Like, dude, the place will lose their shit. Oh, it's going to be the coolest, hippest new thing in Detroit. I really believe that. Don't you, E?
I do believe it will be cool and hip in Detroit, yes.
Jesus, quickly, your favorite Tiger Stadium memory. Go. So
You know what?
many.
Dude, I'll say, other than the last game, I can't say.
Well, the time I got beat up that one
No,
time.
I'm not gonna
was
say. I'm not gonna say the last game. My other one would be. I remember one time sitting first row behind like home plate, and you were just so freaking
Dude,
close,
you were
man.
so close
Yeah.
to the. Yeah, I mean.
And Fryman was batting, and he got called out for a strike. And dude, you could even at this stadium, the news, you could never hear
Travis Fryman?
Travis Fryman.
Yeah.
He's like turns around, he's like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" But you could hear it. It was so fucking close. Like,
I always had shitty seats at Tiger Stadium. I mean, shitty seats being like bleachers. Like, I never had good seats, front row. Get out of here. But what I remember is that, like, that outfield, that the wall, and then you had that fence, that graded fence, almost like chain link.
separating the bleachers and the right field,
Yeah.
like and left field seats or grandstands.
But you could walk around that, and that was as close as you could get, and seeing the players right there in that green lawn, and there's Chet Lemon. And,
That's it, man. The greenness.
Oh.
That's my best memory is coming out. We went to an evening game when I was a little kid, and I didn't know what to expect. I'd never been to a game, you know, and to
Yeah.
walk out there in those lights and that green
Oh.
field, I'll never forget it.
Dude, it's my biggest memory from Tiger Stadium and from the Silverdome is coming through the tunnel and just boom when the whole thing explodes. You see those super bright highlighter yellow goalposts in the stadium in the Silverdome and the green lawn at Tiger. Oh, it was just the best.
Seen the dome lately?
Well, they
Dude,
exploded it twice.
It's
I mean,
pretty much a hole, except they kept one kind of area still up. One part of the stands is still there. So
why?
I don't know.
Just run out of money from.
Haven't gotten to it. It's crazy looking.
Dude, it's so funny. Like last time I was in San Francisco, like when you're going into the city from where my parents are, like when you get to Candlestick Point, like it's right off the freeway. And so there's this point that goes out into the ocean, and that's where Candlestick Park was. And it was like, as you were driving in, you could just see Candlestick Park sitting right there on Candlestick Point. And they were like, yeah, we're building a new stadium. And then they're like, yeah, we're tearing the stadium down. And then 5 minutes later, it was fucking gone.
Yeah, that's how it should be.
Dude, and it's like, how long is this Silverdome? 20 years? It's been 20 years, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Amazing.
What Tiger Stadium stood for 9 or something after they had finished
Yeah.
playing. Yeah, it was ridiculous. Hey, Zot Ford conducting its amazing Key for Key event. Exchange your current vehicle for a brand new Ford without spending a dime out of pocket. Zot Ford will assist you in terminating the remainder of your loan or your lease, no matter what you owe. Say straight Key for Key exchange. Give them the keys to your vehicle. They'll give you the keys to a brand new Ford. Plus, Zot Ford will make your first payment. So hurry, this is a limited time event.
Well, I told you my Thursday was incredibly long. Like, we went to the Michigan and Trumbull, and then you and Marisa and I went and grabbed some little mini burgers. Where do we go? Green
Dot?
Green Dot, yeah, in Detroit. Cool little place. And then I got home, and I had about 45 minutes to kill because we had E's comedy thing, and J. Chris Newberg were performing at O'Mara's. And I told people that, oh, yeah, McCarty's going to go. He wanted to see E do stand-up and Chris Newberg. And so I like 3 times I was like, Mac, you sure your schedule's clear? You sure? Because I'll say something on the show that we're gonna go to. They said, no problem. We're good. I can't wait. All right, Mac, I'll pick you up at 7:30. Show starts at 8. So like the Thursday morning, he calls me and he says, oh shit, man. I was like, Mac, don't fucking do this. And he goes, I got a couple things I gotta do. Probably gonna be running late. I was like, what do you gotta do? He's like, I forgot. I have this autograph signing at Kroger and blah, blah, blah. And then I got to go over to Little Caesars Arena and make a 15-minute appearance in one of the suites. So they have like a, player go in there and sign some autographs, take some pictures, that kind of shit. And I'm thinking, he's not going to make it to that comedy thing. No way. If he's left to his own devices, I know how he is. Dude, his 15-minute appearance will turn into a 6-hour event. He won't stop.
Yeah.
So I'm like, Mac, I'm going with you. He's like, fuck yeah, dude. Awesome. And my goal was, I just got to keep him on track. Just keep this thing moving so we can get to E's event. And
you don't want to get stuck with the puck in your own zone.
Exactly. I got to be hard off the glass all day long. Right? That's my goal. I'm working towards that. And so I go over to and get to Mac's house, and we head to Kroger. And, dude, it's amazing to see the fucking love for this guy. It's unbelievable, Jay. Like, this is a massive Kroger, right? Massive. One of those, looks like a fucking Sam's Club. The aisles are 100 yards long. I'm not kidding. 75 yards at least. People lined up with posters and pucks and fucking cups and hats and T-shirts. And dude, he is so good with every one of them. I was telling him after, I was like, dude, do you have any idea how rare that is? Like, every single person that came up and wanted a picture, an autograph, or to tell you a quick 2-minute story, whatever, you gave every one of them their own personal D-Max story. Like, he had something different to say to every one of them so that every one of those people can go away and go, I have this moment with Darren McCarty. Yeah. It was really cool because I've been to 1,000 of those autograph signings, and it's usually like sitting behind a table, signed, gone, signed, gone, signed, gone. He refused to sit behind the table. He sat out there and was like, yeah, you next, come on. Hugs and kisses and blah, blah, blah. And so finally we get out of there and go down. Dude, you should walk around Little Caesars Arena with a Darren McCarty. That's fun. It's like people are like seeing a ghost. Like, nah, that couldn't. That can't be.
Just walking around the concourse.
Yeah, and you walk in, and the first thing you see when you come in from that, what do they call that? They have like a goalie's name for the entrance. Can't remember what it was, but I don't know. You know what I'm talking about? We when you go in there, there's a parking lot and an entrance, and they've named it like Osgood. It's one of those. So, anyways, you walk in there, and right there, they've got a display with sticks and jerseys. It's McCarty's jersey, game worn stick, and then it's got the picture of Lemieux and blah blah blah. And so I made Darren take a picture there, and then walking through there, everybody's stopping. Darren McCarty's taking pictures and this and that. So finally, we get out of there, and it's like, fuck, dude, we're so late. We've got to haul ass to E's thing. And so he's flying. He's driving at this point. We're flying on the road. Finally, Tooch is there, and I'm getting updates. Dude, the second comic's on now. Third comic's on. E's up next. I'm like, fuck. We're 10 minutes out. Stall, whatever. So we walk in. I don't know what we missed, E. The first couple minutes of your set?
I don't know when he got in there, so I guess it's all
right. And Mac loved it. He comes in, sits down. He loved Big E, and he fucking loved J. Chris Newberg. He was laughing his ass off at J. Chris Newberg. We had the best time, and everyone there was so great. It was so much fun. I hope you guys had fun. That was a great show.
Yeah, it was fun. It was definitely fun.
Isis did well, yeah, I think. What did you think? Did you think it went well?
Yeah, it went all right. I listened back to it, and Chris Newberg said what his advice to me is slow down.
Yeah.
Which was right. I was a little more nervous than I was normally, which is not an excuse, but I did. If I listened back to it, if I could have held things a little longer, maybe would have been good. But I don't know. Overall, I thought it went all right.
Tell some hooker jokes.
I actually told 2.
Oh yeah, Chicago.
No, I haven't told that one. I don't tell that one as often anymore.
What
the TV one, and then the one where
ATM.
Yeah, just because I like the thought that that's only funny to me, not because she's pregnant and getting the hand up. It's only funny to me.
Slow down, E. She's pregnant and she's what?
we'll give, that, because she was supposed to be a massage, but of course it ends up being a hand job. No one's getting a massage at 4 in the morning. Right.
I see.
But the only reason that's even funny or worth telling to me is the fact that I had to get her the $80 to get her there, and then it was another $60 to get the extra part, and I don't have it, so I go down to the hotel lobby. They try to charge me $4.50 for an ATM fee. I walk across the street in my pajama pants and socks and go through the Chase Bank
To save the $4.50.
to save the $4.50, which is why it's funny to me.
Would you save $4.50 and do that?
Not
In a million. If I had $5 in my bank account, I would not go across the street to save $4.50.
But I'm cheap. That's the point.
I know you are,
and that's why to me that story is funny. Not as much the other part. But
no, it does make it funny.
I think the other part just wouldn't be that funny. I don't know how. I think the other part would just telling the story without that aspect of it. I don't think would be that funny. Honestly.
Well, he got done with his set and was like, I gotta go. I got a flight to New York to catch. And I was like, look at this jet setting Big E. So did you fly off to New York first?
I got like 2 hours of sleep that night. Yeah, that was kind of rough in a way. But I mean, whatever. I don't sleep mostly anyway. So yeah, I did. I went to New York on Friday to see my boy Pat Green play.
Green.
Did you get to talk to him when
the show I was on Friday? No, I have seen him do. I've been at a show before where we did signings afterwards, but not that show. That was it went till like midnight, and then it was just like get out. So
why don't you level with me then?
Pat Green. Have you ever heard of Pat Green?
Yeah, I mean, through E.
Through E. I mean, outside of E, though.
No.
Yeah.
I hadn't.
Did you say you do or don't have 12 to 15 80 milligram oxys on you?
I don't. I'm
You don't?
sorry. No.
Shit. Okay,
You're going to
sorry.
have to tough this one out.
Yeah,
Have some
sorry.
caffeine and some water.
Sorry about that. I'm pounding water.
I will. I will tell you. This won't make you feel any better. I don't have a prescription to anything, but I was feeling a little rough in the morning, and my buddy has Ritalin, and I did take some Ritalin.
Isn't that just like speed?
And it fucking made me feel so much better. It went away so bad.
I know,
It was great.
pharmaceuticals, they're miracles.
Then we
They're
walked-
miracles.
then we
I
walked-
highly recommend them.
Dude, then we walked around Central Park for 2 hours, and then we went and saw the Seinfeld restaurant, which I've been to New York several times, but I've never seen the Seinfeld restaurant. So we went and walked to.
It's different, though, right? It doesn't have the...
It's just Tom's restaurant.
Yeah, that's
or
right,
something.
Tom's.
It's not. Yeah, it's
Does
not,
it have the blue?
Yeah,
It does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was funny.
Speaking of restaurants, Hamlin Pubs, they're inviting you to their 5 Metro Detroit locations. Come enjoy Hamlin Pub's great food, drinks, and atmosphere. Whether you're watching the game with your buddies, out for a meal with the family, or out for an evening with your girl, it's always a great time at their Rochester, Clarkson, Chesterfield, and 2 Shelby Township locations. Don't forget, see the one and only Big E at 25 Mile and Van Dyke Hamlin Pub this Saturday, St. Patty's Day. If you go out there between 7 and 11 a.m., you'll get a free breakfast. If you
Green
tell
eggs
them,
and ham.
You tell them you're with TDC.
Yeah. Follow the rainbow. Leads you right to the pot of gold.
Right.
That'll be funny. Are you going to do what you did last year and try to stay there till
I'll stay
closing
there
time?
for a while for sure. You will. If anybody messages me and tells me they're going to come out, but it's not until blank, I will stay.
He will
So,
hang.
I don't know how he does it.
I don't either.
I don't know how he does it.
I just don't sleep that much. I don't know how to explain it. Like honestly, the New York thing. I literally got home I think by midnight, and I had to be up by 3, and I don't know. I just didn't even. And I didn't do any energy drinks on Saturday. I didn't do any pop. I just did it natural.
Yeah.
All day, honestly.
Did you guys remember to set your clocks forward?
Did,
for
man. It's a
Daylight
drag,
savings. It is a bummer, isn't it?
Yes.
I don't want to do the water skiing squirrel cooking segment, daylight savings time segment. But not like everybody else does. But why have we not decided as a country to just be fucking done with this thing? Like seriously, like Florida is doing that now. Florida has a bill going through their legislation, trying to just be like, yeah, fuck this shit, we're done.
Yeah.
We're not doing this thing.
What are the current arguments for it? Isn't it saving energy? Is that the deal?
Yeah, good luck with that. Try to find a good, reasonable argument, because studies have been done on this. We actually don't save any energy. In fact, we lose energy. And when you're trying to compare, like, when this was first done in 1784, you could make an argument for that. You know, in 1914. But now, I mean, there is so much electricity and energy on this planet that we use. It's absurd to think that, oh, yeah, we just need to move the clocks ahead for an hour and then we'll fix everything. Like, it's dumb. It doesn't make any sense at all. And I don't know why we keep just like sheep. It's like, yeah, that's what we do. I don't know why we do that, but
Why not do it?
because, like you said, it's a pain in the ass. Just
Well,
for the
I've
fact,
A little bit.
just
Just
for the fact,
just for a minute.
it's for a minute. But like, if we could always fall back, I'm cool. Like, if we could fall back an hour,
Constantly every year.
Yeah.
Back.
just like 1 hour, once or twice a year, great. I'm all for that. But the forward one sucks. Even though we don't answer to anybody. Like, we have no responsibilities, and even still, I was like, oh man,
I don't know how
I
true
lost
this.
an hour.
But other than that, who cares?
Well, you don't care about anything though.
Well, I mean, no, that's not true. But
Name one thing you care about.
Other than just being like, it's not. Let's get off this water skiing squirrel story. Get the fuck out of here.
I mean,
Daylight saving time. Come on.
well, I'm not doing the break that they would do on the news. Don't forget to set your clocks ahead, everybody. We're springing forward, falling back. I'm not doing that break.
What are you doing?
Well, I'm just saying. I actually found the history of it kind of interesting.
Ben Franklin, right?
Yeah, you're right. It was Ben Franklin in 1784 that he conceived it. I just find it interesting that nobody can answer the question of why.
Just keep doing it.
And we just keep doing it, and nobody has there's not a reason. Like, usually, a lot of people think it was the farmers. It was for the farmers, and it's like, no, farmers don't give a shit. They didn't care. They never have. It was never about the farmers. It was about electricity. It started with Germany, I think, too. Like Germany in World War I, it was an energy saving measure for them, but now it just doesn't apply at all. And yet, there's just these pockets around the world, including most of America, that do this, and nobody really knows why. It's kind of funny. I don't know. I found it interesting.
I hate it.
I know you do, E. I'm with you. Hey, you didn't see SNL over the weekend, did you?
No, I missed it.
Dude, last week the big story was, obviously Bob Mueller and what's going on with him. And then The Bachelor. Did you hear about The Bachelor? We didn't talk about it, but
I don't watch that, but I heard it was kind of a fucked up ending. It was a fucked up season, right? The guy had some ex-girlfriend or something that was involved. Is that the deal?
I'm not even sure. I don't watch it. I don't give a shit about those reality shows. I really
Brutally
don't.
bad.
Dude, they're terrible. But it made headline news across the globe because the guy, at the end, it's like, oh, will he propose? Will he not propose? Who's he going to dump? That whole storyline. Well, he ends up telling a girl, like, yeah, I'm not really into you, or I don't think it's going to work. I'm going to go and then he goes to the other chick, and he's like, yeah, I love you, I want to marry you and all that, but and he says that, and then he's like, you know what, on second thought, I think it was the other chick I dug. And so it was like, holy fuck, they aired all this, and so both girls are crushed, and then he goes back to the first girl, and she takes him back, and people are like, this guy is a fucking monster. He's a monster. And so SNL did this, like, I don't know if I've ever seen him do it. They usually do a live open,
Right.
whether it's the Trump thing with Baldwin or whatever. But they did like a pre-recorded cold open playing off The Bachelor and Bob Mueller. Dude, it was funny as shit because they had the same cutaways like it's The Bachelor. And you know how they put like when the person walks in the room, it's like Cindy, 22 from blah, blah, blah area, whatever. And so all of a sudden, Kate McKinnon as Bob Mueller walks in the door, and it's like they freeze it. It's like Bob Mueller, 73 from blah, 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 blah. And he walks in and
Like
sits.
he's supposed to be the Bachelor?
Like he's supposed to be the Bachelor, and he sits down with the chick, and he's like, how do I start this conversation? I'm sorry. You must know I've been struggling a little over the last few months trying to figure out this whole thing and how to grasp everything. Reality is, I don't think I can give you everything that you want right now, and I think you sense that. She's like, you can't find Trump guilty of collusion? And so it goes into this whole thing like instead of The Bachelor, like the hookup. I mean, it was kind of brilliant. You'll have to watch. I'm probably not explaining it well, but dude, it was a really funny open to SNL about, Bob Mueller and like, yeah, I'm not really finding enough to do collusion, and she's breaking down and sobbing now as if it's a relationship falling apart. Oh,
Nice.
so funny. And then our boy had his rally in Pennsylvania.
Our boy Trump. Yeah.
Dude, I laugh so hard seeing these people rooting for him and cheering him on and watching him
Hold court.
hold court. Yeah. No, it's what it is. Holding court. And he actually called Chuck Todd, who hosts NBC's Meet the Press, is it? A sleepy-eyed son of a bitch. Fucking president, dude. Current sitting president of the United States called NBC's Chuck Todd a sleepy-eyed son of a bitch
It's different.
from the
isn't it?
pulpit. And I don't know how I feel about that. Because he does look like a sleepy-eyed son of a bitch.
He goes straight to the people, doesn't he? Straight talk, Mike.
He's supposed to be there, like helping the Republican Rick Saccone or whatever, who's in like this dog fight for a seat. He mentions Rick for like 2 seconds, and then he's on to whatever the fuck he wants to talk about, and it was hilarious. He's blasted the media. He's got his new slogan for 2020.
What's that?
Keep America great! Exclamation point. And we know he blasted Jeb for that.
That's right. Everything was Jeb! Exclamation.
But I think keep America great! Exclamation point works better than Jeb! Exclamation point.
Yeah.
Don't you?
Especially because Jeb was so low energy.
That's true.
And
That's true.
It was an overt attempt by Jeb to look high energy. Exclamation.
So this started, I guess Chuck Todd was calling Trump out on some of his tweets, and that's probably where the why he was front and center in the attack from Trump. But so he was responding to a tweet from Chuck Todd on Saturday, directly replying to the president's calls of fake news in the first hours. So in the first hours after hearing about North Korea's leader wanted to meet with me and talk denuclearization and that missile launches will end, the press was startled and amazed. They couldn't believe it. By the following morning, it was news that became fake. They said, so what? Who cares? Nobody cares. And so Chuck Todd took a shot at him for that, saying something like, even if using the loose set of parameters he sometimes uses to call something fact or fake doesn't apply on this. Now, if you replaced press with some West Wing staff, there'd be some truth in this. And so that's when Trump used that as a to go after him. Anyway, yeah, let's see. What else did he... Oh, dude, I loved it. He went after Maxine Waters. And, calling a black woman dumb, I don't know how that's going to go over, but he was like, Maxine Waters, very low IQ individual. I'm like, yeah, I agree with that, but boy, oh boy, that's hard to say. What did you think about the news over the weekend?
Yeah, that there's going to be a summit of sorts with Kim Jong-un and
With
Trump, huh? What, in May?
Yes, in May.
Dude, I think the biggest news that came out of there was that South Korea recently met with him, and they came back with the statement that Kim Jong-un let on that he made the statement his father always wanted North Korea not to have nuclear weapons, to denuclearize.
Really?
Yeah, so that gives a psychological, it gives them a path to do it.
Oh, as in, my
save,
father...
Save face in front of his nation, here I am just seeing through what my father always wanted.
Wow, that's interesting.
It's enormous.
Dude, what a huge story. What a huge story. It's not getting the coverage it should.
Yeah, the story on the other side is he's not going to be prepared. He's going to fumble this. He's being set up. Kim Jong-un is going to kill him in this.
Yeah. Which is so funny because if you remember that meeting, that whisper meeting that Trump and Obama had when Trump first went to the White House and they had their little sit down and talk for a couple hours. And it turns out what Obama said to him was, look, dude, the biggest problem you have is this fucking North Korea with Kim Jong-un. That is the problem that the world is facing and that you are now stuck with.
Yeah.
And so...
Can you imagine if he solves this?
Well, I guess they've been hammering
in
North
his
Korea.
second year of his presidency,
Dude.
he comes in and solves the North Korea problem.
We've seen this, though, with things he's successfully done, and it's like, no, doesn't matter. Obama could have done it. Bush could have done it. Clinton could have done it. And Trump's just stuck there going...
Well, it doesn't matter to who, though. I mean,
Well,
I'm saying, can you imagine
dude,
how epic, how monumental of
huge.
an accomplishment that would be? I don't care what the other side thinks, or I don't care what people think. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
for the world...
Huge. The reason I care is because most people are stupid. They don't think for themselves like you do. Who's going to read, and then make your own conclusion. You're not relying on Chuck Todd to tell you the story. You're not relying on Don Lemon to tell you what the story is. You're going to figure it out for yourself. Most people don't do that. That's why I have a problem with it, because...
I disagree. I think most people go to one side. So you've got your Fox News watchers or you've got your CNN watchers. I think they're just getting their intake from either side, whichever side they believe in their echo chamber. Mm-hmm. So half the population will hear that and be pleased by it. It'll spin for the other half, though.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, man. I think there's so much... Like, there was another... Was it Media Matters that does all the media coverage? It might be them. I could be getting the name wrong. But they focus on media coverage of people, of things, of events. Like, what is the coverage like? And once again, just last week, the coverage comes out 91% negative coverage for the current president. Dude, I don't particularly like the guy, but dude, that's insane. To have 91% of the media coverage covering Donald Trump as negative. That's just fucking wrong. It's false. It's a lie. It bothers me. I'm sorry. It just does. That's terrible. That's lying. You're lying to your audience. They won't believe you if you keep lying to them.
Who does Media Matters work for?
I think they're bipartisan. I don't think they're seriously. And I could be wrong about that, but it's an organization that does this. They, nobody bitched like, oh yeah, well that's a right-wing group. Of course they're going to say that. No, most people go, yeah, I guess that's true. But yeah, that would be incredibly impressive if this dude who's laid the hammer down with sanctions on North Korea, and apparently that's what's going on, is the sanctions have gotten so tight in North Korea, and people were afraid to do that. They didn't know how this nut job would react, and Trump went, fuck it, tighten them. And you've got Rex Tillerson, beast. Dude's a beast. Oh, love that guy.
In what respect?
Well, I saw his 60 Minutes interview, and they were like, "Oh, what kind of carrots are you dangling?"
This is the former Exxon chief, now Secretary of State.
Exactly. What kind of carrots are you dangling for? No, he's like, "Yeah, we don't dangle carrots. We don't dangle. We dangle sticks, and we bring it hard." And it's like, "Ooh, yeah, I like that. I like that. I want to bring it hard too." He was saying stuff like that, and he was like, "Yeah, when North Korea wants to talk, they'll let me know. If my phone rings now and it's North Korea, I don't have anything to say. They might say something to me, and I can just hang up because I know they're not ready yet. When they're ready, they'll get word to me, and I'll be ready to listen."
Yeah.
And it was like, ooh, they're not fucking around. And then to hammer them on sanctions and have all of a sudden out of nowhere, Kim Jong-un wants to come to the table and talk to Trump. Great. I think it's great.
May's the date.
Yeah. And, I think they're smart to say, yeah, well, and even Trump was saying it, like, yeah, we have no idea. This could be total bullshit. This could be a setup. We'll have to wait and see. But at least there's some dialogue, which I agree with.
Kathy Griffin.
Dude.
Hot. So hot.
What do you think?
She cut her hair,
Holy
man.
shit.
Wow, she's gross. Do you see she's trying to dip her toes back into the comedy
I
world?
heard that, yeah.
Yeah, I guess she was on, what's his name? Bill Maher on Friday night.
She's really, really funny.
Oh, yeah. That's my problem with her.
Oh, gross.
It's not that I want her career ruined. I want her career ruined because she sucked at comedy, and she always has. I don't think I've ever laughed at anything, ever, that woman has said.
I guess
no offense to her.
Yeah, I've never seen her stand up. I don't know.
I've seen her in bit roles, Suddenly Susan, wasn't she on that show with...
My recollection of her is she's sitting there with, like, Joan Rivers doing the, what do you wear type thing on the red carpet.
Yeah.
And then doing the Anderson Cooper New Year's Eve. I've never seen her, like, be really funny.
She's had roles in sitcoms, few years on this show, few years, just nothing remarkable. And her stand-up, what tiny bit I've seen, it's like, ugh. That's just me. I'm sure people are fans, obviously, but she announced that her first string of U.S. tour dates since the photo that she thought was going to be a home run with her audience. I don't even know remember what that was.
Severed head.
Yeah,
Trump's
well,
severed head.
yeah. But I mean, I don't know what the actual thing was. If it was a piece of fruit, or whatever they made the Trump head on. But first time she's announced she's going to go on tour and do dates. Yeah, there you go. She thought that was going to be so huge.
Yeah.
And people kicked her ass for that. Oh, it was great. And so, I'm dipping my toes into touring again, even though the Trumps and nobody wants me to work again.
What does the president have to do with your stand-up comedy?
Yeah.
Wanting to work? What?
Dude, I know, right?
What does
Well,
that have?
they came out hard, and we're like, this is ridiculous.
As
She's
they
gone way too
should.
far. That's
Yeah.
what, I mean.
But even that, I don't think they said they don't. I don't think that means they don't want her to do comedy anymore.
Yeah, I don't remember if one of them said she should never work again. I don't remember that, but
I suspect they did. I don't think that's central to our discussion here. But I suspect Junior and the sister, or the Junior and the wives of the sons came out pretty hard against her.
Yeah,
if I remember right.
She claims that one of them, I think Don Jr. said something about, we want to ruin her career. We want to decimate her. I think that would have happened regardless of what they said. Honestly, I think people were really pissed off at that and really offended at that. That's the president of your country, and to come out with that kind of thing, and people immediately go, dude, imagine if that was Obama's head. Imagine if someone was holding Obama's head like that. The absolute outrage in the
Probably
country.
be in jail, man.
You probably would. You're right. You're right. So anyway, she's got a show booked at Carnegie Hall in New York and one at the Kennedy Center in D.C., and then she's doing Frisco and Boston. I mean, she's going to all the liberal spots on the planet, and then some Canadian venues as well.
What's she gonna do? Just get up there and say Trump's a dick, and everyone's gonna go ha ha ha.
Yeah,
And then,
I know. I hope it makes its way to YouTube because I'd love to see some of that.
I'm sure it will.
She's not going to take away all the phones like a lot of these comics are doing.
Probably not. It'll be interesting to see what kind of crowds she can bring. I mean, those are decent-sized venues, so I imagine. I mean, obviously, someone thinks she can fill those seats, and probably with the liberals, they'll assume she's just going to slam Trump
Right.
for an hour, and so they'll go. But I don't know. We'll see. Oh
no, I know where you're going. I know where you're going,
Oh,
Mike.
man, I don't even like doing these stories, dude, because they're just so exclusive to men. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like there's not a woman on the planet who would commit this crime. And we have talked about the look at my dick guy forever. The guy that pulls up in a van with his dick rock out, and he sees a 12-year-old girl walking to school and is like, look at my dick, look at my. And you were like, dude, your big thing is always endgame. You know? What is the end game, sir? You think she's going to go, ooh, just what I was looking
Can
for.
I touch it? Can I stroke it?
Do you mind if I lick it? Can I hop
stroke
in
it
really
to
quick?
completion?
Which has never happened in the history of mankind. That's never happened. Point me to one story where that's happened. Some guy whips open his trench coat, and a chick went, oh, just what I've been looking for. Wow. Can I come home with you? Like, it's never happened. And so we've got a guy in Orange County, down in Los Angeles area. He's facing criminal charges. He was connected to crimes through DNA. DNA is hooking a lot of these bastards.
Changed a lot.
Yeah. Christian Ramirez, accused of exposing himself and, grabbing and touching his dick and balls while exposing. It's not just like he had it out just standing there.
So he left his seed.
He did in one case. But if it's just like he exposed his genitals, I'm thinking General Washington. He's just standing there posing. But no, he was touching his dick and balls like a monkey, too. And while staring at women. Doesn't that sound creepy as shit? Not even saying anything, just like, ooh.
Just stare.
Just stare. I'm just going to stare.
Get him off the streets, man.
Poor
Lock him
lady-
up. Honest,
poor women.
That's a rape waiting to happen.
Oh, yeah, of course. 3 separate occasions. He pled guilty to a charge of soliciting another to engage in lewd conduct. He allegedly exposed and touched himself in an apartment while staring at a woman who was... What was she doing? Was she on her way to stripper class? Was she doing yoga poses in the yard that he just couldn't? No, she was driving her son to daycare. Yeah. Ooh, hot. I'm just going to creepily stare at her with my dick and balls out and just kind of shake them at her while she's driving her toddler to daycare. Less than a month later, 17-year-old girl. Kind of hot, right? So far,
Yeah,
what do you know
definitely
about
could
this
be.
story? Yeah. 17-year-old girl walking to her home. She encounters Ramirez in an apartment complex. He immediately whips his dick and balls out to expose them, and while staring directly at the teen. I mean, just eyeballing the teen with this. He was finally ID'd. Finally. So we've got this other victim, and so he enters her backyard in a black hooded sweatshirt with a mask on, and comes through the fence. Chain link fence.
Not like moves his body through the fence, but he comes through the fence.
Through the fence. And I'm thinking, like, even with a great shot, and there are some guys out there that have amazing shots. They just do. Even with a great shot, like that third pump is going to trickle out and then just kind of
Hang on one of the chains,
Yeah.
the links.
You know when you see a slinky going downstairs, and it just, I imagine that third pump at best is going to be like a slinky going down that chain link fence. You know what I mean?
It's like hock a big loogie through a fence. Part of it's going
There you go.
hang.
And
Well,
so
lucky for the authorities, it did.
So the woman had been startled. This is her backyard, right? She's got a fence in the backyard.
She was startled by, oh,
Loud banging noises by her back fence. She doesn't quite know what that is. She goes to investigate. and finds old Ramirez just fucking getting it on with himself, and then fires a massive load through the chain link
Banging
fence.
into the fence that loudly? Wow.
Yeah. Yep. So investigators come.
They came too?
I misworded that. They showed up. They arrived, and collected DNA from the scene, had it analyzed through their rapid DNA. Like, they didn't want to wait 2 weeks. It was like, let's get this guy's cum in the system and find out who the fuck he is now. So they used the rapid DNA identification.
And lo and
program.
behold, the guy's already in the system. What are the chances?
What do you know? And all I could think was,
Who's the guy who has to do that, right?
what FNG? Who was the rookie? Who was it his third day at work?
Yo, noob, collect it.
Hey, noob, gonna need you to go pick up the cum dripping off the fence there, the chain link fence. Just get on in there with your hands. That's a rough job, isn't it? That's not one for the lieutenant. That's not something that
Protect and serve, man.
I know, but
So go into serve.
you think so? Tough part of the job. Like, a lot of people know. Like, you expect, all right, once a year I'm gonna have to rescue a cat from a tree. It's gonna happen. You know, maybe I'm gonna come under fire at some point. I might have to draw my weapon. I might have to argue with an idiot who wants to fight a fucking whatever ticket I'm about to get. Like, that comes with the territory. But my guess is nowhere in the training or in the booklet do they say, oh, by the way.
Unless you're a crime scene tech. Are you assuming it wasn't a...
Well, I mean, I'm talking cops.
Oh.
Cops on the scene.
Did it say cops?
I thought it
like
did.
Like a gumshoe? a guy on the beat just walks up and like
Hey,
collects it in
Sarge.
his the palm of his hand.
Sarge, I found something. No, it says investigators.
And then hold it. Just hold it in your mouth.
Guys,
Hold it in your
what do you
mouth. Just hold it in your mouth.
what do you want to do
What
with
do you
this?
want me to spit in? What do you want me to spit in?
Anyone got a shot glass? Anyone? Shot glass.
I suspect it was a
It was an
crime scene.
investigator.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Dude, I would think, all right, you're an investigator.
It's probably an easy one,
blood.
honestly. For it, dude, the shit they see.
I can deal with blood and brains more than I can deal with another man's cum on a chain link fence. I'll be honest with you.
I don't believe that's true.
I'm serious. Like, if they
I
went,
really don't believe that's true.
dude, we got two locations. One's got brains and
dude,
blood.
I'd rather collect cum off a chain link
Would
fence.
you?
Yeah, than brains and ugh.
I think I'm going brains and blood.
I
More
just
so
don't-
than cum.
I don't. Okay.
It's another man's cum.
I understand, but
But you've seen cum many a times in your life. You don't
that's
necessarily
true.
see brains and
true.
hardcore
that would
blood.
be startling.
Fine, I'll clean the guy's cum up. Jesus Christ, you guys are right. Fine. It's hard to argue that.
Mike wants to clean up the cum.
What a fag!
Whenever I read these stories, though, I immediately, like, yeah, the guy's he's gonna jack off through a chain link fence. Like, the idea that a girl is gonna be up there just like flicking her
I
bean
know.
wildly
I
on a
know. Yeah, this doesn't happen. Wired completely differently.
But we're the same. We're the same. We're all exactly the same, except no girl has ever done that in the history of mankind.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe on a dare. Maybe you could convince a girl to do that.
But
for
why
the
do you
laugh.
say we're the same? We're the same, but no girl is.
Well, I just mean that, there's no he or she anymore. We're just, we're just the same.
Oh,
We're just a bunch of theys.
gotcha.
You know what I mean?
For pronoun purposes.
Right. Right.
Yeah, I hear you.
How do you feel
I
about
like to say people kind, not necessarily mankind.
what's your guys' thoughts on gay conversion therapy?
Tell me more, Mike. We may want to get in on this.
Well,
I've already seen it work
Hi, Miss
once
Spady, by
with
the way.
I'm not gay no more guy. I mean, he obviously
did he have conversion therapy?
I don't know,
though?
but something happened.
I think
I'm
God
not
just
gay no
spoke to
more.
him. I think God just came to him
Okay.
and said
He was delivered
he was delivered.
with
yeah.
a T.
But wasn't that just God coming to him and go, dude, you're gonna have a heart attack if you keep boo-fooing guys? And so
think
he was
so.
like, shit, I can't butt fuck guys anymore.
Okay,
I think
maybe-
that's what it
maybe
was.
that's true.
But I don't think he went to camp and rode horses and then
Okay,
had
yeah.
conversion therapy. And so this son of a bitch, long time, and I do mean long time, Toronto psychiatrist. He's known for administering gay conversion therapy. He's found guilty of abusing a couple of young males.
Oh man.
His office. Yeah.
So his aim is to take kids who think they're gay and turn them straight.
Yeah, you come in and go, dude, I'm struggling. It's possible. Maybe I'm a homo.
Yeah.
And
And
his
he's gonna-
job,
He's gonna scare you straight.
yeah, his job is to, like, show you a picture of a guy, and then when you get rock, he knocks it down.
Well, maybe that's what he was doing, right? He's like, see how bad it hurts? See how bad it hurts?
Yeah, you don't want to do this. It's all about chicks. Dr. Melvyn Iscove, 72, has long believed that homosexuality is a disorder that can be overcome. It was described by the College of Physicians and Surgeons of Ontario discipline community as having a special, quote, this is a quote, special interest in the treatment of patients with problems related to homosexuality. The committee found that the doctor had engaged in oral, anal, and mutual masturbation with some of his male clients during therapy sessions.
Must have been very confusing for the client.
Oh, because, dude,
Very confusing.
I go to with a rapist. I've had multiple of them over the last couple of years. Not at no point in any of those sessions.
Did they grab your dick and balls?
No, not once, dude. And I don't know if that's rare. Maybe other people can email us if that happens a lot. I don't even remember the rapists ever getting nude.
Are you offended?
We never jacked off together. Sort of. I didn't know Dr. Melvin was out there. Been fun to go see him. But he claims that engaging in these sexual acts was part of their treatment
Yeah, there you go.
and would allow them to stop fantasizing. You know what I mean? So he also faces a pending hearing on improper conduct in a public men's washroom. I'm not sure
boy.
if that was a wide stance issue. I don't know what that was. They don't say anymore. They don't elaborate. But
Fell into a hole in the wall.
on top of everything else, they were like, oh, yeah, plus the men's washroom thing that you were doing. So apparently that was bad, too. I don't know what that was.
So is the argument he lets his clients get their nuts off, and then they go out in the world and they don't feel like they...
Then they're not gay anymore.
I'm not gay no more.
Sure.
Until 5 hours later.
I know, yeah, until they want to.
I'm not sure, there's obviously a doctor-patient line that shouldn't be crossed, right?
I would think, yeah.
I don't think a doctor is supposed to blow their patient. That's
Doctor.
just not supposed to happen, right? You
I
go
would
in for
agree.
therapy.
Even in Canada.
Right. You go in there, and while it sounds nice on paper, who doesn't love being blown? I do, you do. You don't expect that you're the therapist, for those who don't know this show, that your therapist is going to be like, you know what I think? I think I should just blow you right now. That's probably not what's supposed to happen. But I'm not sure how I feel about this on this level. 2 patients, now in their 40s, testified that Dr. Iscove abused them while they were in their 20s. All right. I'm going to stop right there for a second and say, in my 20s, there's not a doctor in the planet. I'm going to speak for you, Jay. I know you don't like when I speak for you, but I'm going to.
Okay.
In our 20s, there's not a doctor on the planet who was male who could convince us to have anal sex during our therapy session with him. Is that fair?
It is, but I wasn't going to one for gay conversion therapy. Presumably, these guys are going in there thinking they might be gay, right?
Maybe, yeah. Well,
They're predisposed.
One guy went in. It sounds like they go in with depression and anxiety, and then one guy's like, my ultimate fear is that I'm a homo. So he's like, I know what to do. Get your pants off. Let's get on with this.
Let's check.
show you.
I'll check. Did you like that?
He was asked by the doctor, ooh, describe your sexual fantasies that you've had about the two of us. What a fucking ego on this doctor. Dude, you're 72. No one's fantasizing about getting it on with you, you weirdo.
Isn't he causing the guy to think on the spot, though? Right?
Sort of.
If you're told that, and you feel like you're in a subordinate situation, you're gonna I fantasize about that gray beard, down on my dick and balls, and
as you go down my shaft, as your mouth makes its way,
rubbing on my taint,
like that. Those gray hairs are just gently.
And then you start making it up, and he's like, yeah.
And so, what does the doctor do? What does the doctor do in that situation?
He
immediately takes his pants off and says, "If you want to touch me, you can."
Yeah.
Which would be a fucking sign to me, dude. If I went into the rapist office and told her some story, and she took their pants off and was like, "Dude, if you want to, grab a hold of anything here, feel free."
Can you imagine how fucked up that is for a person in that situation? You're going to this person for help. And you're confused about issues.
Vulnerable.
You're totally vulnerable, looking for help.
Looking for professional wisdom and insight.
God, and then they take advantage like that. That's incredible.
And he's wearing his little suit.
Guy should be shot.
Yeah. Well, he says, "You could touch me if you'd like." That's a quote while removing his pants. Encounters of this nature occurred at least 10 times during the therapy sessions with this person.
Therapy sessions.
Another patient began seeing Iscove when he was about 18 for depression and anxiety. Told the doc, "Look, dude, I'm straight." And the doctor was like, "Are you sure?"
Let's test that theory.
Patient said he was asked multiple times about any dreams. Think hard. Any dreams that you've had related to homo feelings. Any heterosexual fantasies he had were described by the doctors being a way of denying his true homosexuality.
See, that's so awful
Oh,
that a guy
that's
could
so-
do that, you know? Because this guy's in there seeking help, and who am I to question this? No, I don't have
Dude.
those dreams. And you start thinking about it, then there's the guy, and he's asking you if you want to touch him.
His pants are off. He's raging. Things pulsating at the helmet.
And all of a sudden,
Dude.
maybe it seems reasonable.
Fuck, I don't know. Should I sit on it, just sit and spin and see what happens?
Maybe it seems reasonable.
You would, as you were pulling your pants down though and getting ready to hunker down on that thing, wouldn't you go, "Wait a minute, hold on. I'm not 5. I'm 25, and I'm not sitting on your old dick." I like to think you and I would do that.
You do, but I mean, you know, we've talked about these guys who are out there, "Look at my dick," just totally trolling in general population. Like, this guy has a racket going. I mean, he's got vulnerable people sitting there with him.
Yeah.
That is just dastardly.
Dude, I live in a constant world of depression and anxiety. That's what I do. I go to therapists.
Sorry to laugh.
I go to therapists
Oh, what was funny about that?
regularly, and at no point are they like, "So, are you a homo or
Yeah.
straight?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm straight." Do you think it's possible when you have fantasies about banging chicks in your dreams that it's some sort of weird cover for your homosexuality?
But if the rapist, the
What?
therapist had gained your trust over a period of time, and then he sort of started to weave into that shit, like, you might not cut off that line of questioning right away, right? You'd be like, "No, I'm not a homo."
Yeah.
If he keeps digging, you might not immediately go, I'm out the door. You might think it's just part of the discussion. And
No doubt
go
I
with
would
for
play
a
it.
bit.
I would let it play out. And my thought would be like, "Oh fuck, where's this going? This is awesome. Where's he going with this? Where are we going with this?" Let that thing ride a little bit. And so, no, as soon as the doctor says, "I see what you're saying about having these dreams about banging chicks, but just stay with me here. Don't you think it's possible that this is being used as a way of denying your homosexuality?" No, dude, no, I don't, like, at all. And then immediately after that, they start just getting it on in the office.
Yeah.
This is in 2007.
Yeah.
He violated
That's
he also violated the rules, and this is really going to piss you off. You think you're pissed. You want him shot a minute ago, right? He also violated the rules by attempting to sell a juicer to a patient as well as other personal items. And that's just, dude, you just don't cross that fucking line with your patients. You know what I mean?
Juicer.
No one wants your 10-year-old juicer, sir.
For sexual purposes or just to juice?
It's better than jacking off with him. I'll give him that. By the way, for the record, homosexuality is not a disease or a mental disorder and was removed from the World Health Organization's international classification of diseases in the early 90s. You would hope that said the 1890s, but it says the 1990s. Many U.S. state houses have pending legislation that would ban gay conversion therapy. Blah, blah, blah.
That's troubling, Mike.
It is troubling, but hopeful.
I don't know. I don't know if it is.
I don't know where the hope is, I guess. That
He's
was when he's
locked
getting in
up,
trouble.
He's locked up.
Yeah, he's off the streets, and
One more
hopefully
off the
these
streets.
guys know for certain that they are not gay now. And you know, it was Dr. Iscove that showed him that.
I ain't gay no more.
I ain't gay no more.
Hey.
I wear a purse no more.
Everybody, check out the DetroitCast listener business page. It's a page under the Help the Show tab on our website, DetroitCast.com. The page includes businesses that are owned by listeners, fellow listeners of the DetroitCast. Take a look. Be great to support the supporters of this show. And today's featured listings are... What are today's featured listings? DRKM Strategies. They specialize in helping independent small businesses grow by using proven internet marketing methods. And I'll tell you, listener Craig has helped out the DetroitCast, so contact him today. He can help you out too. Also, Harvard Risk Management Corporation. Everybody's doing all this surfing the internet these days. You know how the kids are. They're buying shit, I hear you can buy shit over the internet. Your identity's going to get stolen sooner or later, and you're going to want to call listener Lisa over at Harvard Risk Management Corporation. They specialize in affordable identity theft protection and preventative legal services for individuals, families, and small businesses. Again, check out our listener business page under our Help the Show tab at DetroitCast.com.
Very good. You want to see the doctor really quick?
Doctor? Oh, yeah. Oh, I absolutely fantasize about you, sir.
How would you like to be in a room just mutually masturbating with that guy?
God.
Or taking it from that guy?
Of course he has a mustache. You
What
know?
a fucking racket, dude. Imagine the balls to be in your office. Who knows? There could be 3 other fucking offices right next to him. There's Dr. Lisa, who specializes in this bullshit, whatever, and he's in there just fucking pounding buttholes of dudes.
And then what's your fallback? Always like, well, that guy's crazy. Who are they going to believe, me or him?
Respected doctor. He's already told you
Doctor!
he's depressed. He's got anxiety. He's not borderline homo, thinking about it. You know, he's on the fence.
So what his anus is bleeding? Wasn't me.
Yeah, to ask him about it. It's his butthole that's bleeding, not mine. Take it up with him. Shame on you, doctor. Let's take a quick break, Jay. Oh, man. Do you like... Well, we'll get into Jesse Waters.
He's a douche, but sure.
Thank you. Thank you for... I appreciate you saying
total
that.
douche.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And then the Shape of... Was it the Shape of Water won Picture of the Year?
Yep, best picture.
Yeah, and that was where the like monster fucked a chick.
Yeah, it was like a fish-type, amphibian-type fish that fucked a chick. Yeah, you're right on that. Yep.
The most famous fish fucker of all time is coming out and giving comment.
Yeah, we
So-
talked about this story a while back.
Yeah, the dolphin lover.
Yep.
Dolly, I believe her name was. Beautiful girl.
I think you're right.
Beautiful gal. We'll get into that and much more next.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break. Detroitcast continues now, bitches. Here are Mike and Jay.
All right, welcome back to the Detroitcast, powered by DealsInTheD.com with Mike and Jay. And Jay, the entire break, all I could think about was the good doctor.
Doctor!
And the more I thought about it, the more devious it got.
Oh, dude, it's an awful crime.
We're talking about the doctor we were talking about just before we went into break.
The vulnerability and just the taking advantage of, man, that's it, dude. He ought to be executed. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of with you on that. What I was thinking was, it in a way, remember when the Catholic Church was going through their shenanigans?
Oh, yeah, that little thing, sure.
Yeah, the tomfoolery with the little boys and all that. And reports started coming out about people going into the priesthood to have access to kids. Like, oh, here's a profession where I can get away with doing this. And it was like,
wow,
holy fuck, the planning, how insane is that? Like, that's so insane. And for this guy, it's kind of like that. It's like, okay, I'm a homo, but I'm going to do this homo conversion therapy where I'm trying to fix homosexuality. How do
Under
I get
the guise of fixing them?
Yeah. And who's going to argue with my credentials as a doctor? It's like
I'm going to get super confused people in here.
I'm going to get sick individuals looking for help that are vulnerable and weak. And how do I get people, just a stream of them coming in that are maybe gay or are gay and don't want to be gay anymore?
It's like Larry Nassar. If you want to finger a bunch of 12 to 14-year-old girls, man,
yeah,
what better racket could there be?
And boys too. You see that kid?
Oh yeah, there's
Friday.
one boy.
There's a couple boys, I think. One of them came out. I don't know about his story. I didn't hear a lot about it, but it sounds like he was doing, I don't know, like an acupuncture thing, and he just got really closer and closer and closer to the groin. And
I think part of the kid's complaint, too, was that he exposed him to some other girl who was also in the vicinity, and he felt super embarrassed about that. Here he's 12, and the other girl's 12, and the guy's like, here's his dick and balls just hanging out.
I'm absolutely certain that there was something going on there. This kid didn't just make that up or blah, 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 but it was like all I had heard was the needles getting closer and closer to the groin. It was like, okay, well, then what? Were things grabbed or touched or... You know, I was just wondering what the further story was. You know what I mean?
What the end game was.
Yeah,
it's always about the end game.
Well, because the girls, I mean, that was horrible what they went through. I mean, there was penetration and shit. Like, it was, I don't know. Anyway. Hey, did the...
I don't think it really matters what happened.
Probably, well, I mean, if a doctor gets close to your groin, doctors have been close to my groin, you know, whatever. Maybe I should sue him. Anyway, did the NCAA bracket just drop?
The bracket was just dropped, Mike,
right.
Michigan fans are going to be wondering why they don't get to play in Detroit and Michigan State does.
Oh, he's going to be bummed. You were planning on going to a game, weren't you?
I already am going.
Both 3 seeds, but State gets to play in Detroit.
Okay, well, that's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. Against Bucknell. Bucknell.
Are you happy with a 3-seed ranking?
Dude, I don't care. I honestly... I have not cared less about the tournament ever.
You used to do it with us.
Do they even deserve a 3? I don't even know. I guess their record indicates that. Yeah. But they have like second round loss written all over them to me. But
really, see, Michigan State has done so well though. I just automatically assume they're going to be Sweet 16 bound.
Yeah, and you screw that up half the time if that's what you're doing.
Yeah. Well, they've shown enough. It's like them, Gonzaga. Like there's certain teams I'm just like, yeah, give them a couple wins early. They're going to do it even when they suck. It seems like, anyways.
Michigan has Montana in the first round. They're out west, and the number 1 overall seed is Virginia. The other number 1s are Villanova, Kansas, and Xavier. Xavier's with an XE, if you're going to bing that.
Yeah,
I wasn't, but thank you.
my play whenever I do these things is to never, ever, ever pick Michigan State or Michigan winning it. Never. And that is a move specific to here because I know there's so many homers that are going to pick that.
Tons of people do. Yep.
You're better off picking someone and having Michigan State, even though you're rooting for them, you want them to win it all, have them going out in the first round because all those people are going to pick them to, you know, as homers, they're going to pick them to go to the whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, that's always my plan.
There was kind of a cool, I don't know if you heard this or not, but I know 5 Hour Energy Drink is doing like a bracket this year, but they're doing it a little differently.
Oh, you can change your picks.
Yeah,
right?
you can change your picks
Love
up
it.
until like 3 minutes to go or whatever it is, but your points go, like, say you get 10 points if you never change it. Well, then it goes, okay, well, you switch it with 3 minutes, but now you only get 2 points. So it's not as
kind of cool,
So
though.
can
I
you
mean,
switch to a team that's actually in it? Say in the third round, my guy's out, but I can switch to a team
now
that's
that I don't
actually
know.
there?
I'd have to look more
That would be
into it.
helpful.
good question. That
Yeah.
would be very helpful if you could pick a team that you already had
I
eliminated.
don't think that. I think they probably no. I do not. I'm sure that you have. I have to look into it, but I am sure that you. Yes, if you don't have the final four, I don't think you could just add a team in. But I have to look.
It's interesting though
but it's at least
to make a
something
play
different.
like that, try to change the whole tournament.
When I heard
bracket
that
play.
when I heard that a week ago, I was like, "That's hilarious." First off, and
It's attention
genius.
grabbing.
Yeah, for sure. I'm shocked that people haven't done that before. That, like, it's pretty straightforward for the most part. The brackets, you pick your teams, your team loses, and blah blah blah. It is what it is. But, dude, that's kind of brilliant to be able to change your bet with 3 minutes to go and lose a few points.
It's
but-
complicated as fuck, but
Yeah. Well, that's what
That-
computers are for.
yeah,
Computers are smart. They'll figure it
they
out.
are. Somebody wrote a cool program.
Yep, someone does code, and they're good at code. It figures it out almost instantly, too. Way smarter than me. Now, mention the Oscars and the movie that won Best Picture was Shape of Water, The Shape of Water, which nobody's seen. Nobody went and saw that. But it's about a chick who's in a lab, and they capture some, like, sort of man-gilled, monsterish, fish-looking thing, and a budding romance happens. You can't stop that. When romance starts, it's on. And he ends up just fucking the dog shit out of her. I mean,
Yeah.
he's just...
How ironic in these Me Too environment.
Yes.
Time's up.
That an actual monster fucking a Hollywood girl.
Yeah, that a girl gets a role where she has to fuck a fish.
Yes. But the cool thing is, it's brought out of the woodwork people we haven't heard from in a while. Mainly fish fuckers, like Malcolm Brenner, who wrote an autobiographical novel in 2010, Wet Goddess.
Now, was this just a blowhole situation, or was he going vagine?
I think he was going vagine. And, yeah, he wasn't fucking a blowhole. I mean, you could drown. That's like choking someone out. I mean, if he wanted to fucking gag on it to a dolphin, you'd
Well,
do
she
the
could just
blowhole.
leave her mouth open, and he could just go blowhole, right?
But don't they have to
Just skull
expel
fuck it.
from the blowhole, though?
I don't know. I think she could just stay above water, right? And
I'm almost certain you cannot gag a blowhole without consequence. I think that's a problem. I really do.
consequence.
So, the Wet Goddess, great book, if you haven't read it, about his experience, with a dolphin. And then it became a documentary years later called Dolphin Lover. Some people may remember that. And so he gave an interview, and he was talking about, there's some similar themes between my story and...
Claiming they were in love, right? Like this thing actually.
Well, yeah. I mean, although both his story and the movie are about a human having a relationship with a non-human, the situations are not really the same at all, he said. My overall impression is it was an unabashedly romantic fantasy. But to me, the fact that this won Best Picture, that's just astonishing. And it's, hopefully it will bring it more to the mainstream and put it out front.
That's his hope, huh?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you've got a kid that's confused, like, I kind of want to fuck my dog, but I don't. It's not supposed to be right. And it's like, you get these kind of stories out there, and all of a sudden, you've got precedent for animal fucking. So that's always a good thing. As long as apparently the object of your desire is a featherless biped. That's what he said. We're not going to let a few gills or scales stand in the way of a true romance. Quadrupeds?
Feathers is where he draws the line. Like, as long as they don't have feathers, it's okay.
Quadrupeds? No. Animals with flukes? No. But if it looks like a man, like the monster in the movie, then it's okay. Now it's cool. I'm sure a lot of good liberals who criticize me for making love with a dolphin loved this film because the hero was a featherless biped. If the asset had been a dolphin, it wouldn't have been anywhere near as popular. Yet the fact dolphins don't look like humans at all is exactly what he finds so absolutely intriguing. I mean, just gorgeous. Yeah, that's what... They don't have any legs. Their limbs are flippers. Their nostrils are a blowhole on top of their head. Their buttocks. He actually said that, a dolphin's butt. Have you ever thought of a dolphin's buttocks?
No, man.
Me either. I didn't even know they had buttocks. It would make sense.
Jesus, pull up a picture of a dolphin. Not a porpoise, a dolphin.
I thought you were going to ask him to bing dolphin buttocks.
Oh, that's what you want, just a dolphin?
Jesus, I want a dolphin. Stat.
So part of the other things that he finds so attractive is their buttocks have become powerful flukes, and they can swim at 20 miles an hour.
No porpoise. I want a dolphin. Is that a dolphin?
Jesus Christ, Easus, get it together.
I looked up that guy's book and stuff, and that picture was there, so I assumed it was a
Dude,
dolphin.
there's no buttock on that mammal.
I'd have to get a good look under that flipper to know for sure. I just can't say.
Being under flipper. Again, no porpoise, just dolphin.
I must say, I find the dolphin a lot more sexy than that thing was. He said, that's just personal preference. I don't like people threatening to go all Lorena Bobbitt on me because I made love to a dolphin. The dolphin, of course, was Dolly, and this was Dolly's thing. Dolly started this. It was not him.
Key phrase, made love. It's very consensual.
So Dolly just starts coming up to him and rubbing them genitals
I
on him.
remember that claim by him, yeah.
Yeah.
He was some sort of handler, and did she come around in a sexy way.
She's just... And it's like...
She's a flirt. What a minx.
Just
Dolly.
dirty little minx, Dolly. You little tramp. What's with you? If I tried to push her away, she would get very angry with me. One time when she wanted to masturbate on my foot, and I wouldn't let her, she threw herself on top of me, pushed me down to the 12-foot bottom of the pool. Yeah, he really was left no choice. And, you know, it's funny because a lot of kids can relate to this. If you're wondering what you're supposed to do, if a dolphin starts rubbing its genitals on you, think about your home dog. I mean, a lot of people know what it's like to have a dog like hump your leg. And
The red thing.
Yeah.
We all know the red thing.
Yeah, and if at that point you want to get it on, I mean, it's obviously dog's asking for it, right? I mean, that's basically what his takeaway message is.
Why would you deny it?
You wouldn't. Star-crossed lovers. That's in the article. The star-crossed lovers.
It's just written in the stars, Mike.
Eventually consummated the relationship. He vertical, she horizontal.
Vertical shit. Oh, God.
So what does that mean? Hold on.
She's laying on her back, and he's...
Yeah, she's on her back, spread-finned.
Easus, dolphin buttock, please.
I mean,
do you think he finishes in the dolphin, or does he pull out? Like, what kind of...
Yeah, you don't want to get it pregnant, right, E?
Yeah.
of course, because semen is semen.
He describes himself as a zoophile, not a bestialist. Yeah, big distinction. And here's the thing. He's someone who has tender and caring emotions for his animal partner, not just sex. It's not just about the sex. And so I was like, oh, cool. So movies, dinner, deep conversation with the dolphin. Is that what we're doing? It's not just about the sex? Really? You guys enjoy a good sitcom in the evening? Is that what it is? How do you even make that statement with a straight face? No.
Because he feels like he has some connection, some cosmic thing, right? She's rubbing up against him. He's standing there in the pool with her. Ugh.
What I was really attracted to was her attention and the intellectual ways she challenged me, not her appearance.
Jesus, this begs the question, what's a peduncle? What the hell is a peduncle?
I don't. This is the.
Well,
Look how far the anus and genitals are
yeah.
up that dolphin.
Well, if you're going to go with a dolphin, you've got to make sure that you're lifting right arm. If you're right-handed, you want to get the right arm under the fluke, and then the left arm, you're going to want to raise the peduncle to expose the anus and genitals. And that's how you would do it. Pectoral fins, not a worry. They're just not that big. It's kind of like that chick. Remember that chick with the picture who had like half a wee arm?
Yeah.
It's just not going to be a problem.
Dude, I think maybe you go straight blowhole. I don't know why you mess around with the genitals at all.
I think you'll choke it out, dude. I'm
the
telling you.
peduncle, dude. The peduncle is so big and massive and strong. I don't know how you...
Bing, can you fuck a dolphin's blowhole? I don't think you can, Jay. I seriously think you could drown it.
Why don't it just
Wait.
opens his mouth and breathes through its mouth?
I don't think it will. It has to come up for air, and you're cutting off.
It's just like if you pinch your nose. What are you going to do? You're going to open your mouth and breathe.
But you're underwater. It needs to come out.
Cover my mouth.
Expel.
There I go, out of my nose.
Kramer hits the golf ball into the blowhole.
I understand.
Right?
Yes.
Costanza had to
He
go in
was
there.
angry that day, my friends.
He had to go in there and remove from the blowhole. Otherwise, the dolphin was going to drown. So if you just start ramming your thing into the blowhole of a dolphin, I think the higher risk is that you're going to choke it out.
Dude, I think it's secondary. I think it can open its mouth and breathe. I'm just saying.
You're assuming this thing is out of water.
Right, dude. Picture
It's not.
Picture a pool, though. You know, picture a pool where it can come up in the shallow end and put its head up, and then you just stand over it and put it right in the blowhole.
Yeah.
And then this thing is under your ass, like taint.
See, This attitude is what a bestialist would have. This is not a zoophile's attitude because he
So it's
doesn't want to be banged in his blowhole.
The head is between your legs, under your taint.
Sure.
And it's breathing open mouth, and you just got the blowhole.
Again.
And I'm not messing. I don't care about the peduncle at that point.
Dude, do you want your blowhole penetrated? You don't. You don't. You
I think
want
it's
your
made
genital
for it. It might be made
How
for
many
this.
times have you sat on this microphone and said, I want my penis stroked to completion? You do. You love your genital stroked to completion. So does a dolphin. It does not want its nostrils fucked. Dude, you're talking about banging its nostrils.
It's the equivalent of a blowjob, I think. I mean, I'm not saying like
No,
every time.
it's got blowhole. It's not a blowjob. It's not the same thing. And no dolphin wants his blowhole
You pull up
penetrated.
blowhole. Look at how receptive. Look how inviting this thing is, Mike.
Yeah.
And again, you don't have to worry about the peduncle.
What the hell is a rostrum?
It's the nose.
I call it beak.
Yeah.
Bottlenose.
Yeah.
The other thing with this guy, I don't know to this day, and I refuse to speculate about why she might have wanted to have sex with me, but somehow she devoted a lot of attention to me, and over time I came to find it flattering.
She's a minx.
Yeah.
Look at that, Mike. It's inviting.
It is inviting, but
Just
dude,
straddle that thing.
stay out of it. Stay out of it.
Jesus.
They do breathe through it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
open the mouth. Am I wrong, E?
You can open your mouth. It doesn't mean you want your nostrils fucked, dude. Stop it.
That's a good point.
He says, over time, I found it flattering, especially when nobody else was paying attention to me. So I can understand how Elisa in the movie became attracted to the monster. What I would like to think that society will become less religious because the prohibitions in Leviticus are the only conceivable basis for any laws.
It's the only conceivable basis
That's it.
to look down upon this.
If
is
not for-
Leviticus.
if
If not
not
for Leviticus,
If not for that son of a bitch Leviticus, we'd all be fucking our dogs and dolphins. We would.
we could just eliminate that book.
I can't see that me boffing, yeah, that's his word, boffing my dog has any effect on society, good or ill, as long as I'm not hurting her or abusing her. Laws against animal cruelty ought to be sufficient without criminalizing the act of interspecies sex. He's making some strong points, Jay.
Going to hell in a handbasket, Mike.
Yeah.
Keep Leviticus.
I don't know. I'd like to just see what society would be like a year after we got rid of Leviticus. If, like, just for a temporary basis, trial run. Let's remove Leviticus and whatever Steve Leviticus said.
Whatever happens, happens.
Yes. Let's get Steve Leviticus's opinion out of the way for a year, trial run, and see if everybody starts banging their cats and dogs and fishes. You cool with that?
Mike, I watched an Oscar winner this weekend. I watched Get Out. Get Out.
Jordan Peele?
Yeah, Ajmataj Buckshank himself.
Sure.
He won for Best Screenwriter, I believe, this year. It was an absurd story.
Oh, no.
An absurd story. But when compared to this chick banging the fish,
Do you think he won
Maybe
because
not.
he's black?
Mike, I'm not going to say that. I will say this, though. It was good acting. It was good production, and I enjoyed it.
Really?
Overall entertaining.
I have no idea what the story's about. None.
I won't spoil it for HBO, but
I'll never see it.
It's
You
a
can
thriller.
spoil
No,
the
you
shit out of
should.
it.
You should see it.
Really?
Yeah, I would recommend you see
Did
it.
you go to a theater? Is it in theaters?
No,
or-
it's on whatever, HBO or Netflix.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you didn't
Possible
pay
it would
for
be
it.
on Netflix? No. It's on HBO, I think.
Okay. It was good, though?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll check it out.
It's entertaining.
All right. Let's get to some email. I want to get upstairs and watch the OJ thing is tonight.
Oh, no shit. I didn't
Yeah,
know
that confession or whatever. The lost tapes, as if Fox lost the tapes and just found them. But that's,
If he did it,
This
this
is
is how
how.
it would sound.
yes.
If.
So let's do some email, and then on tomorrow's show we can discuss a little bit of that.
Mike, before we get to email, insurance, we all need it. Most of us, however, don't know what kind of coverage we have or who even provides it. Well, let fellow TDC listener Brent Wasik from Wasik Insurance Services change all that shit. Brent has over 30 years in the business. He offers all types of insurance coverage, auto, home, health, life, business, commercial, and more. Call Brent Wasik at 734-455-1900. Get a free, no-obligation quote today. Again, that's 734-455-1900. Why not call Brent and have him price you out some insurance?
Sure.
He may just save you a shitload of money.
Yeah,
Now,
he did me.
and me too. On to email, Mike. If you'd like to write into the show, send us your thoughts to email@detroitcast.com.
Thoughts only, no prayers.
Just as Steve did. Steve sent us some thoughts. Special counsel summons. Hey, Jay, you guys were mentioning a minimum of $50K in lawyer bills if you get that call. So we were talking about like Hope
Mueller.
Hicks getting the call to have to
Yeah.
testify before Mueller.
Yeah.
And the Mueller team get a subpoena for that. And it's like, fuck, you might as well just go mortgage your house because
Yeah.
it's going to be about $50K. Serious question. If you didn't want to drop the coin and you wanted to avoid, however, some later perjury charge, could one participate without legal representation and exercise your Fifth Amendment right to each and every question?
Sure, you could.
No, you couldn't.
Why not?
Because you're not a criminal defendant. If you're a witness,
I would try it.
yeah, you could
That's
try,
right.
but the judge would get mighty pissed.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah,
likely.
He's already pissed.
Yeah, I mean, your
He's the
Fifth
judge.
Amendment right to take the Fifth during
Yeah.
questioning as a witness is it's limited.
But so if they were questioning on that, and you're like, dude, self-incrimination. I don't want to self-incriminate myself.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the Fifth.
Yeah, well, the judge would look at that and go, does this reasonably lead to some sort of criminal issue, or are you just completely stalling and standing in the way of
I was
relevant?
colluding my ass off with Russia. Yeah, it does.
You have to have a reasonable cause to like apprehend danger of a prosecution.
So what if you went in there, no representation, and went, dude, I would kill if I could just remember that. I don't know. Next question.
Yeah.
Dude.
Well, if you look
I
really
just don't
obstructionist,
remember.
the judge could throw you in jail. Honestly.
What if I was crying and I'm like, dude, I
Yeah.
feel like such a dick. This is the 30th question in a row. I have no memory of that.
Yeah,
at all.
it depends on how well you could pull that off, that act. But I assume if it's a really unreasonable, if just you're taking unreasonable stances on questions that you should easily be able to answer without fear of prosecution, judge is going to go, Mr. Walters, answer the fucking question.
And I'm like, dude, I'm trying, Your Honor. I just don't remember.
Your Excellency.
I'm trying my ass off. I'm nervous, and honestly, I don't remember what
Yeah.
my middle name is. I don't.
Yeah. You're up there like Cato Kalin, just like, boy.
Oh, I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah, so Steve, no, you'd probably get whacked for that. But you could make it, through a lot with the Fifth, but you wouldn't be able to dodge every question.
Yeah. My thing would be, if I was in that position, I would totally go in there and I would say whatever I had to convince them that I was not in the wrong. And so basically, if I have to, dude, no, I've never met anyone from Russia. I'll lie my balls off.
Would you? You're totally willing to lie under oath? Yeah.
Dude, yes. Because the shit that I've done is straight to jail. So that's the only shot I got.
Yeah.
Is I got to lie my dick off. Yeah.
Matt writes in, all-time epic reply all fail. We've had a lot of people respond to that reply all grievance that I asserted last
I'm
week.
still confused as to what all that means.
Yeah.
I got to be honest with you. Yeah.
Well, a lot of people out there totally understand the danger in it, and there's been several stories about people getting in trouble. Elderberry, Marionberry, and Dingleberry. Jay's reply all grievance from episode 1015 made me harken back to something I experienced a few years ago. Received a very long, strange email from a colleague wherein he explained that his work and travel burden was taking a terrible toll on his family. He explained that his wife doesn't sleep with him anymore, their marriage is in tatters. He's pretty sure she's been cheating on him, his kids resent him, and that he has found himself drinking way too much, and on and on and on. When I was about halfway through reading it, I wondered, why in the hell did he send me this? Well, I realized that he had mistakenly hit reply all on some previous email from our HR lady, which was sent to pretty much our entire company. Instead of just reply. He sent this email to literally thousands of people from the original distribution list. It was so bad, I didn't have the heart to even finish the whole email. I deleted it out of pity for the man.
You didn't finish it and laugh at him? Why wouldn't you go straight to his office?
I don't know whatever
Do a little
happened to
dance.
him, but I think I'd have to just quit. Hopefully the poor guy didn't kill himself. It was that bad. It reminds me of Michael Scott on The Office. Remember when he when he sent the email when he and Jan were at Sandals, Jamaica, and he got
Yes.
the side boob picture of Jan. He was like, we slept together. Well, he sent that picture to the whole packing. He was trying to
Yeah.
send it to Todd Packer.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sent it to packing. Yeah, email's dangerous, man.
Is there any sort of safeguard you can put on, when you hit reply all, where it goes,
Are you sure?
dude, are you sure? There's a
Probably.
lot of people on here. Are you sure you mean to send this to 1,000 coworkers?
I wouldn't doubt if Outlook had something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's several reply all stories. Can't get to all of them.
When it started getting into the blind CC shit, I was just like, all right, I'm out. I don't know what
Oh,
all
I'm
this
wrong
stuff
on that,
is.
by the way. You can reply all, and BCCs won't get it.
Okay.
That means nothing to you, but it'll
Well,
mean
no.
people...
I understand the blind CC. I vaguely understand
if
the
there's
concept.
blind copies on
Do
there,
you have to do something special to make sure that the BCCs don't see it?
no, you can reply to... If someone replies to all, BCC won't get it.
Okay.
I was fearful that they did. I thought they did, but I binged that, and they actually don't.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. Danny Dodge writes in concerning crybaby teachers. Jay's right. Now, I don't want to get it.
Dude.
I know. I don't even know if I should read these.
I know. I saw some people on Twitter taking your side. I'm like,
Dude,
just stop. We don't need to lose listeners. We don't.
Well, here's the thing. I don't hate teachers, and I never said I did. My thing. Why do you smile when you say it? Like,
no, I'm laughing. No, go ahead. I don't think you hate teachers.
Yeah. No, and my point is, like, if you don't like your job, get out of it. Go do something else. This isn't a bait and switch situation. Like, this has been known for years. Teachers are paid like dog shit.
Yeah.
Now, they do get their summers off. But can we just shorthand this and say a lot of people on Twitter and
go ahead.
email
Read your
agree?
emails. Read your emails.
Because I don't know that it's productive to just slam people's view of teachers.
Read your email.
I will say this though,
you cherry picked these emails. You took all the ones that agree with you.
That's not true at all. If teachers want to write in and slam me, I'm like the guy last week, I'm fine with that.
Read a couple. I'm interested to hear what they say.
All right, first off, Bone Job goes personal against the woman who freaked out. If you'll remember, I think it was Rick who wrote in.
Sure.
Rick wrote. And he was like, "Oh, my wife tore off stickers, and she won't let me, wear my sweatshirt."
She called you a cocksucker,
She
dude.
did.
She
She
doesn't
never
swear.
says that, apparently.
Yeah.
She's teaching our youth.
Pretty sweet.
Call me a
That's kind of
fucker and
badass, dude. She called you a cocksucker and she doesn't swear.
I'll take that.
That's dope, dude. For real.
Jay's a
Cocksucker! You know how pissed she was?
Yeah.
She was probably like, Jay's a cocksucker! And he's like, holy shit.
I gotta write into the show.
Yeah.
Well, Bone Job responds to that woman in particular. He says, "Hey guys, my wife is a teacher as well. However, she's not a cunt." So she heard your comments and just went on with her day. She disagreed with what you said, but I still wear my TDC gear. I have my bumper sticker and she would drive me to events if I showed up to them. I guess I just married a stable woman.
Look.
Listen.
That's so over the line. All he had to say was, I'm married a teacher, but she's not so sensitive.
Yeah.
And don't have to jump to the C word. I mean, honestly, dude. Did
she
deserve
went
to be a
cocksucker?
cunt?
She went cocksucker when she never goes cocksucker. Bone Job came with a big gun.
Listen, don't water down cunt. When you use cunt, it should be to a cunt. That woman was not a cunt. She was offended. Right?
Right.
And so for Boner to just willy-nilly be like, my wife's not a cunt like that cunt. It's like, dude, don't.
I think Boner would argue that was neither Willie nor Nilly.
Well, it was Willie and Nilly. And she was not a cunt. And I don't want to water it down like that. She was upset. She was hurt. She was offended. She was not a cunt.
Dennis writes in concerning teacher pay. Stick to your guns, Jay. I couldn't find more accurate numbers, but according to MLive, the average salary for a teacher in Michigan was about $61,000 in 2015-16. That shocks me. Honestly, that
you think teachers are overpaid?
No,
now?
I think they make under like that shocks me that the average was about $61,000.
Wait, for what? Public school teachers?
He doesn't say. The median income for all workers in Michigan was about $45,000. Therefore, the average teacher makes about $16,000 more than the state median income, and they get their summers off.
Oh, see, that could be including tenured professors.
Yeah, yeah. No, doesn't that seem high?
Yeah,
honestly.
Yeah.
But that's the story everybody portrays. Like, oh, teachers are paid like dog shit. They make like $40,000 a year. Mm-hmm. So maybe that's not true. Maybe it is closer to 60.
I'm sure some teachers will write us and let us know.
Yeah. Danny Dodge. Hi, Jay. Hi, Mike. Fuck you, E. Gentlemen, after listening to the ongoing teacher debate, I felt compelled to email in with my 2 cents. I am a mechanic. I, too, have to buy my supplies, i.e. new stuff every year. Tools that cost much more than any stationery that teachers need to buy. And I make just about the same as any teacher annually. Furthermore, I do not get summers off. Like those freeloading teachers.
Why doesn't he just go to Sears and buy his tools? Because don't those still have a lifetime return?
I heard Craftsman sold to someone else. But yeah, that was their deal, man. If you broke a Craftsman hand tool, you could take it back a lifetime.
And here's the difference. If you're a teacher, you're buying stationery, highlighters, sticky notes, pencils.
You know what they actually do? At least
every year. If you're a mechanic, what do you need? A screwdriver, a wrench?
Dude, honestly, he said new stuff every year.
What else do you need?
I don't know, dude.
A fucking wrench, a socket set, and a fucking screwdriver. You need a plus and a minus. But that's it. You don't need anything else.
A left-handed screwdriver, maybe.
That's all you need.
If you have a friend who's left-handed.
What are you talking about, Mike?
Well, yeah, you can get glamorous and go get, fucking, you know, the
A lot of other things.
yeah,
probably.
if you want, but the necessary tools are the plus minus screwdriver, maybe a ratchet and a socket set. That's all you need. Any good mechanic will tell you that.
Thank you for the great shows as of lately. There's that word again. What does he mean by that?
I don't know.
What do
Is
they
it the
mean,
same
Mike?
guy?
I don't know if it's the same guy. I think people are just feeding off each other with that lately thing.
I'm going to say it. It's a cunty comment.
They think they're going to get our goats by doing that.
Yeah. I don't like having my goat got.
Signed, your friend, Danny Dodge.
Hi, Danny Dodge.
Thanks for listening, Danny Dodge. There's more teacher stuff.
Well, you hit a nerve. Go ahead. No, go ahead. Don't pass it up. What do they say?
I don't want to do that one.
Go ahead.
No, I don't want to. It was never my purpose to just slam teachers.
It wasn't?
No, I wanted to point out that they do get summers off. And that they did know what they were getting when they went into it. Wasn't a bait and switch.
Right.
And if you really don't like it, go
All
do
right.
something else.
I got it.
Okay.
They got it too.
Because that's what I did.
Yeah, right.
I'm a living example of that.
Don't we all wish we were as talented as you? We could just switch careers
I'm telling
and have success.
I'm telling people that they can do something else.
Yeah. What's a teacher supposed to do?
I don't know. What was a lawyer supposed to know he could go do a podcast?
No.
I have no idea what that teacher wants to do, but
it
they
was
have
my faith in you that brought you here. You wouldn't have made that call. You would not have called me.
no.
You would
I
not
wouldn't
have called me and said, I think I'd be good at this. It took me coaxing.
Well, whatever it takes. I mean,
So hopefully a teacher has a friend that's doing something cool and they go, dude, you might be good at this.
I was ready to go do whatever. Is my point.
Yeah.
And
You were
I
talking
still would.
construction.
Sure.
That would be fun. You'd be good at that, but you would fucking hate the lunch break time with your coworkers. Because they'd be talking about slamming beers and crushing puss all day. And you'd be like, ugh, wife and kids, dude. Grow up, boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes. And when they're
I like to
whistling.
slam beers and crush puss.
Yeah. And when they're whistling at chicks that are
Yeah,
walking by,
'cause they do that.
You'd be that annoying fucking asshole that's going, you know, guys, if HR hears about this, if that girl complains, you know, we could have a real problem here. And they're like, they would see you as a buzzkill. You're great with a hammer, and you can lay tile like no man's business, but you'd be a buzzkill around the site.
If I'm not an owner of the business, they do what they want. I'm not gonna
Am I
get
right?
in the
E?
way of their whistling.
I
and
don't know what to say.
cajoling.
I mean,
Would Jay be a buzzkill on the
probably, I guess. I
on the
mean,
construction site?
Well, buzzkill
I don't
everywhere
think,
else.
but I don't think he would. I'd say no because I think it would be
Really?
no. Here's the really reason: because within a week, everyone would just go eat lunch somewhere else and talk about slapping asses and shit over
Dude,
there. Like that's so it wouldn't be. It just would be like
I would clean out my area.
yeah.
I'd be like, that
so
guy
I don't
sucks.
think
I'm going over there.
Dude,
I'm
when
gonna
they're
go
all
eat my
eating
tuna fish over here.
they're all eating pizza at lunch, and Jay's got his kale and apple and shit. And dude, the first time, you think
If
you
I'm
find,
not going to own the construct, I don't give a shit what you do.
all right, you
If
wouldn't
I'm
have
just, if I'm a laborer there, I'm making whatever per hour. Hey, dude, do what you want. I don't know
You'd
why
be a
you
good
think that
roofer.
I don't know why you'd think I'd jump in the way.
I think you would think that me and my boys are immature.
Probably, but
We're
I
whizzing
just,
off 14 floors.
Yeah.
We're shitting off 14 floors.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't do that with you, but sure.
But you'd laugh?
Of course.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
Of course.
You'd be a good roofer. I could see you doing good work on a roof.
Why is that?
I don't know. I just see you with your little boots and like really getting into the hammer and laying the all that stuff.
Huh.
You'd be good.
Okay. Save the rest for tomorrow. I almost misspoke. I almost said
Made
save
it.
the rest for tomorrow.
And
We'll save the rest for tomorrow, Mike.
We
We'll
will.
be back.
tomorrow we are going to talk about Jesse Waters.
Douche.
I have some questions about.
I hate
the
this
new
guy.
I know. You should. All right, everybody. Have a good rest of the day. Thank you for hanging with us today. We'll do it tomorrow. And, hopefully you'll join us when we do.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.